Hello everyone, I'm Giga, and today I'm going to be going over an alternate strategy of the setup Janitorial 2.0. The setup was created in 2010, and it is a very heavy mechanical setup. There are many mechanical elements in it, and as such, um, it makes it difficult to understand sometimes which is the best line to take when playing it. There has been several debates over the years that have occurred in and out of game, claiming that, or rather debating over optimal methods and strategies used in the setup. The most recent of which has been suggested by Doc on Me, aka BrownPimp007. Some of you might have heard of him. A very successful competitive player, has won the majority of his trophies on setup Janitorial 2.0. So, in Janitorial 2.0, what usually happens is there are cop CCs, the cop and the janitor. So when there are cop CCs like this, standard play on day one, when we do not know the general, is to lynch in cop CCs. Fairly straightforward. Um, let's say both cops have innocence. You still lynch in cop CCs, right? But what if one has an innocent and one has a guilty? Sorry. If one is an innocent and the other has a guilty, what do we do then? Is it still optimal to lynch in cop CCs? Or should we lynch between the cop with a guilty and his guilty? Let's pretend that we don't know which cop is claiming what. We don't know which cop has which report. So, if you lynch in cops, what you know straight away is that you will be lynching a Mafia, one way or another. What I mean is there will be at least one Mafia in your lynch pool. So, if you lynch in here, you know for sure that there is at least one Mafia in the group of people you're lynching. This is a fact. If you lynch here, you do not know that there is a Mafia in this group of people. So on the surface, one might say, oh, you could definitely lynch in cops because you know that there will be a Mafia in there no matter what. If you lynch here, there will not be a Mafia no matter what. Sometimes there will be, sometimes there won't be. 75% of the time there will be a Mafia there. 25% of the time there won't be. You'll be lynching between two towns 25% of the time. I'm not going to bore you all with the probability, but yes, you're not always lynching a Mafia here. There might be a town, two towns. So I'll try and make this simpler to understand. Hypothetically, let's say that these are the situations we can encounter. Cop guiltying a miller. Cop guiltying a lawyer. Janitor guiltying a villager. And janitor guiltying a miller. These are the four situations we see most. We don't usually see janitor bussing a partner. We don't, we do see janitor guiltying doctor or oracle sometimes, which leads to their quick and utter demise a lot of the time. So we're not going to be focusing on that. We're not going to be focusing on what if the janitor is bussing, as these situations are either rare or don't matter when we're trying to figure out the situation. These are the four possible situations. One of these situations has no Mafia in it. Three of them do. But how frequently do these situations occur? These situations occur at different probabilities. The cop can check between 9 different players on night 1. Assuming that he doesn't guilty or inno'd the dead player, there is a 1 in 8 chance that the miller gets checked, right? But there's only a 1 in 2 chance of the cop getting a guilty if we don't include the cop guiltying the janitor, as this does not play into the situation. 1 in 2 chance of the cop guiltying the miller, and 1 in 2 chance of the cop guiltying the lawyer. Or rather, 1 in 2 chance that the report is a miller, and 1 in 2 chance that the report is a lawyer. So each of these situations have a 1 in 2 chance of being just like this. The cop is a guilty, they don't know who it is. There's a 1 in 2 chance that it's a miller, and there's a 1 in 2 chance that there's a lawyer. When the janitor picks somebody to guilty, they're choosing between, assuming they're not choosing between their partners or the dead role, they're choosing between 6 players, 3 of which are power roles. One of those 3 power roles is their CC. That won't be included in the situation. If the janitor guilties power roles, then they will be lynched fairly quickly, as the power roles will be clear. Unless, of course, a Mafia decides to CC. But this is another situation as well. So we will not be focusing on these 2 either. If the janitor gets a guilty in villager claims, remember that the miller does not know that they are the miller unless they get guiltied by the cop. But they don't know the cop yet, so they can't know if they're miller yet at this point. If the janitor gets a guilty in the villager claims, there's a 1 in 4 chance that it's the miller, because we do not know what this role is. This role could easily be the miller, so it's always a 1 in 4 chance. If the miller is dead, then that leaves 3 villagers, so that would be, I don't even need to go over it. There's 1 in 4 chance that it's miller. So this is a 1 in 4 chance. And therefore, this is a 3 in 4 chance. The janitor guiltying a villager in blue claims, there's a 3 in 4 chance of that happening. Because if there's a 1 in 4 chance it's a miller, there must be a 3 in 4 chance that it's a villager. Now, we understand that the probability is different for each situation, other than these 2. Because the probability is different for each situation, this makes the method of lynching in the guilty and the cop with the guilty a little more difficult to analyze. So we'll just go over each situation one at a time. As if a cop has a guilty, more often than not, there will be a Mafia somewhere in the lynch pool, but not always. If we compare these probabilities, which honestly I'm not too good at doing, so I don't really want to get too far into it. I'm just outlining the strategy, but I'm going to try it quickly anyways. If I make this 2 and 4, 2 out of 4, and 2 out of 4. Now, you know what? Honestly, I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna bother trying with it. But let's just go over each situation one at a time. If this happened, and you lynch the miller, right? So let's say the miller's dead. Or actually, you know what? I'll use this section to do that. So there's already a villager missing, as you see, as we assume villager is Jan. So let's say that the miller is lynched, right? Miller dead. Okay, so odds are this cop is real because there's only a 1 in 4 chance the janitor is Guilty the miller, right? So we assume this cop is real. Okay. The Mafia kill a villager. This is what we are left with on day 2. The janitor is confirmed. They are lynched. Okay. Now, let's say the Mafia kill the doctor. We're left with this. Unless the cop has the guilty, there are no clears. Or confirmed people, because confirmed mafias. There won't be any confirmed mafias unless the cop is a guilty. Because the lawyer is still alive, the nilla mafia has protection from the lawyer. So, in this situation, with 2 clear power roles, unless one of the mafia choose to CC Oracle, then it's 2 out of 3 lynch pool. If these two are clear, and this is the lynch pool, there's a 2 in 3 chance of getting mafia. Okay. Let's say a mafia is lynched. Doesn't matter which mafia gets lynched at this point, I don't think. Unless the cop has an innocent here on the villager, then it would be autowin. But let's just say a mafia is lynched and it's not autowin. Let's pretend it isn't autowin at this point. The cop dies. What we are left with is a 3-way lylo with 1 clear. Let's take a step back for a second. The janitor has been lynched on day 2. Let's say that the oracle is killed. There are many different situations in which could happen here, but if somebody is dead, if someone is revealed that isn't the cop, there's still a 2 to 3 lynch pool, at least. If a mafia is revealed, there's a 100% lynch pool. You lynch the mafia. You always lynch the naked mafia. If you never always lynch the naked mafia, don't watch this video. You're hopeless. We lynch the mafia who's naked. The situation is autowin. Unless, of course, no, it's autowin, because the miller is dead. The miller is dead, so the last guilty has to be mafia. Doc's alive, it's autowin. Just check in. All cop has to do is check in the villager and lawyer, the last 2 blue claims, and they find the mafia. So that's a good situation. If a mafia is revealed by the oracle, even if the lawyer is revealed, it's still the same thing. The miller's dead, and we just check in the last 2 blue claims if the doctor is clear. Even if mafia CC's doctor, we check in doctor claims, and if we enter the doctor, then by process of elimination, the other doctor claim, which is the mafia, who is guilty, has to be mafia, even though we have an inner report on this. It's basic process of elimination. I'm not going to go through this, repeatedly. If the villager is revealed, doctor claims, okay, so the nilla should be CCing here because they are protected by the lawyer. What cop has to do in this case is lynch the confirmed lawyer, and then simply check in Dr. CC's for autowin. Okay. If the doctor is revealed, and the cop has an innocent, they should lynch outside of the innocent, because if they lynch in the innocent, it might be the villager. Lynching outside of the innocents, you have a chance to lynch the lawyer, and once you lynch the lawyer, you have autowin. So instead of lynching somewhere where there might not be a mafia and you're innocent, you lynch somewhere where you know there will be a mafia and the other 2 people, because the other 2 people can't both be town. This is, again, basic process of elimination. I wish people understood it more. Okay, let's say that the oracle lives, doesn't die on night 3. What have I done already? I've done doctor and oracle, right? Yeah, okay. So let's say the villager is killed on night 3. This is the day 3 situation. 3 power rolls, 2 mafia. If the cop has a report on the lawyer, which is guilty, it's autowin. Because process of elimination, right? I don't need to go over this. lawyer dies, you check in the CCs, whatever. Okay, autowin. If the vanilla Mafia is revealed, same thing, autowin. Sorry, not revealed. What am I saying? Lynched. If the nilla is lynched, then it's autowin. If the lawyer is lynched, it's autowin. If the doctor is lynched, it's auto loss. Mafia majority here. If Oracle is lynched, it's Mafia win already. Look at it. There's 4 players, 2 of them are Mafia. Mafia won. This is not a bad situation. It is a 50% chance at auto win because you have a 2 in 4 chance of lynching Mafia, and if you lynch a Mafia, you have auto win. 2 in 4 is 50%. 50% chance at auto win. Good. So, while before we mentioned that lynching here gets you confirmed Mafia in your lynch pool. You either lynch the Mafia or you lynch the confirmed Mafia on day 2. And lynching here doesn't necessarily get you that. Guess what? In the second worst situation, which is cop guillotining Miller, even if you lynch the Miller here, you're in pretty good shape if a villager dies on night 2. What if a doctor dies on night 2? Cop has no protection, right? At this point, the cop should out the reports that they have. You lynch the confirmed Mafia, and you're left with, a game with 1 clear, unless Mafia CC Oracle, and 2 Mafia. You 5 players with possibly 1 clear, and it's lylo. So this situation isn't that great. It's not bad, but it's not great. The Oracle will live for the rest of the game. If town makes it far enough, the Oracle should never die. The Oracle dies, then that means the Mafia made a mistake and killed the Oracle by accident on night 4, or town lost. So, yeah, because if the Oracle dies and if the Oracle's lynched, it's game over. So that's what happens if the Doctor dies night 2. What if the Oracle dies on night 2? Let's pretend the Oracle died. I hope I'm not being too confusing, by the way. This will all tie together in the end. The Oracle has died on night 2. The Miller has been lynched on day 1. Okay. Let's pretend the villager is revealed. The janitor is lynched on day 2. Here are our clears. Doctor should always be on cop. So there's these are the clears, they're still alive, and these are the non-clears who are all alive. Right now it's night 3. In this situation, we have a naked villager, we have a clear cop. So Mafia have to kill, right? Are they going to kill the cop? No, because Doc should always be on the cop, as cop provides auto win more often than not. Say the Mafia kill this and it dies. This is a pretty easy situation here. Even if the cop has checked the doctor. Oh, well, unless the cop has checked the doctor. If you check the villager, it's a 2 to 3 chance of lynching. You always lynch outside of the inno'd. If you get the guilty is confirmed Mafia, yada yada yada. We know how this works. Let's say the Mafia killed the doctor. Okay, well, unless the cop checked the doctor, then that's rather unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. If the cop doesn't check the doctor, you still have a 2 to 3. Not bad, right? If the cop checks, gets an innocent by checking either the villager or the vanilla Mafias, you lynch outside of the innocent for your 1 of the 2 chances of getting lawyer. And then the next day will be, let's say you lynch lawyer. Or vanilla. Okay, actually, let me take a step back for a second. If the cop has inno'd a villager, and you lynch outside of the innocent, then you get a Mafia either way. If you get the vanilla Mafia, it's auto-win, because then this is innocent and this is clear. The cop has to die, so with the 2 clears now, it's auto-win. If the cop, however, gets an innocent on the vanilla Mafia, you lynch outside again, and for the 1 in 2 chance at lawyer, because you know for a fact there's always going to be a Mafia in this lynch pool and not in the innocent pool. So you lynch here, you get the lawyer. Okay, lawyer's dead. Cop's dead though, so we don't know much now. It's just a 3-way lylo with 1 clear villager from being revealed from the oracle. So that's the worst case scenario. If the oracle's dead night 3 and the doctor's dead night 3, that's not too bad. But that's only if the oracle reveals a villager. See, there's so many situations that can occur, which makes this method of lynching here hard to analyze, really. But all these situations that I'm going through over here can also happen with this, if you lynch in cop CCs. It's just that in those situations, the cop's always going to be clear, and there's already going to be Mafia dead. For this situation, there's another. I mean, that's like basic Janitorial 2.0, so I assume people know that already. I'm just quickly running through what happens. We see that it's actually pretty similar after the fact. After the Miller is lynched day 1 or the lawyer. If the lawyer is lynched, honestly, then it makes it even easier if the lawyer is lynched, because if the lawyer is lynched day 1, we're focusing here now on this situation. If the lawyer is lynched, you're in some pretty good shape. The Miller is still a blue claim. Let's say a villager dies. This is a nice situation. There's no lawyer. Innocents are confirmed clear. Power rolls are confirmed clear. In this situation, power rolls should claim as PR. I don't want to run through that in this video because I've already explained that in the post. If the PRs claim as PR, you instantly have a 50% chance at auto-win by lynching a Mafia. If you lynch a Mafia, or sorry, you have 50% chance of auto-win even before lynching, because if you lynch a Mafia, then it's auto-win. It's mechanically auto-win. Trust me, if PRs claim as PR and Mafia don't CC, mechanically, if you lynch a Mafia, you have auto-win. I'm not going to run through that right now. That's not the point of this video. If a doctor dies after lawyer lynch day 1, okay. You have a mislynch, you have a cop with a report. Oracle should be claiming here. If someone CCs, that's dumb, but if they do it, then lynch in CCs. If you get the Oracle in CCs, then you lynch to confirm off the next day. After this happens, let's say the Oracle revealed a blue. This happens, someone else dies, and you have this. And remember, there are parts 2 to clear people, so there can definitely be 2 clear. Can there be? Not really. No. But there are reports. So let's say that on day 2, the cop had a report is an innocent, so that person's clear, so then it's auto-win. But it might not be auto-win because there might not be a report. Furthermore, if the Oracle revealed a Mafia, the Oracle reveals a Mafia, then you have auto-win, you lynch the Mafia, and fuck, what am I doing here? Sorry, it should be like this. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Mafia dead. This is the end of the game. All 3 Mafia are dead. If the Oracle reveals a Mafia, and you lynch the lawyer, and the cop CC is lynched, and the Oracle dies the next night, you know, all that happens. There's so many situations, right? So in the end, the question of which is better, which strategy is better, lynching cop CCs or lynching the guilty and the cop claim. For pretty much the same situations that happen after you lynch, day one, same situations happen regardless. If you do that or that, if you do this, if you do this or this, like, it's basically the same, but you get more rewards if you do this way, but only if you hit the lawyer. So it's essentially gambling. Although I think more negative situations occur when you lynch here and you lynch the cop. I'm going to run through the standard Janitorial 2.0 and compare it. So let's just pretend this is a villager. Okay. You lynch cop day one. Sucks. You lost your cop. Villager dies night two. Great. You lynch the janitor. And at this point, like, anything can happen. Like, a power roll can die, power roll might not die, someone might be cleared from the oracle, someone might be confirmed. Like, a bunch of stuff can happen. Super mechanical setup, as I've mentioned several times already in this video. Cop dies, and Doc dies, even worse, because you lost a power roll, and this happens. The only difference between this situation and this situation is that the cop remains alive in this situation. So if you lynch between the cop and the cop's guilty, and you lynch the guilty, the cop remains alive, and you pretty much know which cop is real more at the time. If you lynch the cop in this situation, then and they end up being the cop, then, well, you get the same shit here, except you have a guilty and you don't know if it's Miller or lawyer, and you won't be able to lynch it right away unless the Miller dies because you have lylo, lynch or lose. If you lynch in cop CC's day one and the janitor dies, I'm sorry, if you lynch in the cop and the guilty day one and the janitor ends up being the cop, it's the same situation as if you lynched in cop CC's, right? Because you lynched the janitor. So it's exactly the same. So it's pretty much the same at the end of the day. I don't really think there's an edge for one way or the other. The only difference is when you start on day one, you know for sure that there's a Mafia if you lynch in cop CC's. You don't know for sure there's a Mafia if you lynch between a guilty and the cop who guiltied the guilty. It's pretty much the same thing. Like, I might not even publish this video. It's just going through over the same stuff over and over again, regardless of what happens after day one, regardless of what you do. If anything, I think I might have just proved that guilty testing is more optimal than anything else if you have a cop with a guilty, which is pretty funny. Unless, of course, the cop with the guilty is janitor, then you lose the ML and you don't have a guilty. You lose the mislynch and you don't have a guilty. So the janitor, guilty is a villager. You lynch that villager. Something else will die on night two. Janitor is lynched on day two. Cop has protection. That's nice that cop has protection. Something's gonna die and you still have like a lynch pool. Honestly, I think guilty testing is optimal. I don't know. Because either way, if you guilty test, you have a cop and a doctor alive, unless the doctor dies night two. If the doctor dies night two, then people say, oh, guilty testing's terrible, why we do this? The doc's dead, the cop's dead, we lost our Miss Lynch, and like all this stuff's happening, and it's just so bad for the town. Why did this happen? Whereas if a villager dies, you go, oh, this isn't so bad. We have our cop and our doctor alive. We have a confirmed Mafia here. Something else is going to die night three. If it's the doctor, whatever, we still get a report. It's not too terrible. Like, and we don't know if there's another villager alive, but it doesn't matter because you have a 2 in 3 chance of lynching a Mafia, or you have two sets of 1v1s. Like if nilla CC's Oracle and these are the blue claims, then you have 50% chance, 50% chance. It's honestly not terrible. you just lose the mislynch. I think each way is fine, honestly. This video was crudely done. I made it on the spot, as you can probably tell. I tried using a visual to help us out. It might not have worked. It might have worked. This is kind of a long video. I don't know. I mean, tried to debunk the argument, but honestly, like, I don't see anything wrong in guilty testing, lynching, like here or lynching here. I don't see anything wrong with lynching cops he sees, lynching between the guilty and the cop who got the guilty, or just guilty testing flat out. Like, honestly, it seems to me that there's so many other factors that play in that it doesn't even matter. Although if you guilty test, more of the time it's going to be town. That's the only thing against guilty testing. More often than not, it's going to be town. But even if it's town, you're still in decent shape because you know which cop is real and they're going to be alive. And then it all depends on if Doctor dies night two or not. Too many elements in order to say which strategy is better than the other, honestly. This is why I think Janitorial 2.0, while it's a very deep setup, it's not the best because either way you're always kind of relying on mechanics to a degree. So yeah, that's my video. Comments and questions on YouTube or Epic Mafia. Yeah, thanks. Bye.